evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, that is right. I did just say it is Saturday night because we are here for a one-off special. It is TMA Live, not on a Sunday, but on a Saturday. And in the house tonight, we've got the one and only Mr. Paul Pidge, David Atkins, and Mr. Watford Ladies man himself, Mr. Chris Walker is in the building.
It's right. Hello, sir.
We'll do that one again.
Good to be here. Thank you.
Lovely, sir, lovely. And by the way, your host Moobsy is here. Moobsy is in the building as well, just in case anyone had forgotten that one. I just thought I'd throw that one out there. As always, guys, your questions, your comments, and your opinions, send them in throughout the podcast because we will be answering them and we'll be looking at them as well. So, and also, I've got something to say about Hemel Town later as well, which is going to shock a lot of you, which I've told these boys tonight, and they are simply in shock as well because they can't believe it either. So stay tuned.
Yes, definitely. I can't wait.
Right. Where should we start? Well, probably, I'd say probably tomorrow's game, I think.
Yeah.
Come back to one bit in a minute. Tomorrow's game is upon us.
Yes. The Pidge Classico.
Yes, that is the Pidge Classico tomorrow, guys. No need to phone Barcelona or Real Madrid, or especially Real Madrid after Wednesday night. No. Yeah, I think the team. I think the team's pretty much picked itself tomorrow, but I could be wrong. What's the opinion in the ranks?
I think I really do hope Akaka is in just on the subs bench. I stick with Gray up front and having our usual 4-2-3-1. With attacking wise, we always play 4-3-3, but I think. Carrillo will still be on the right. We'll give him one more chance. I think, like I said on Thursday, because we were luckily, unfortunately, I actually went to Stoke, so I'm a proper fan now. I actually go to games now.
Really? I know. Pidge goes to games. Oh,
and so did Poppies as well, so did, and I went to a game.
Yes.
So it covers all the bases. But the only thing I said to you with Carrillo, and I said this on Thursday, to Mick and to the young man Dino, the only thing I thought when he cut inside, and I think he's going to start, was they obviously said draw one of them back and let him run at Peters for Mina, and it worked a treat. And I think he'll keep his place. I've probably, people slaughter me for this. Start with Capu if we're going to start between him and Will Hughes, and bring Will Hughes on. Give him one more chance with Capu because Dino said to me today. In spirit, he's here in spirit. He said we will see a totally different animal tomorrow. We have to start well. We cannot sit off of them because we said as well that with Man City, they were just so much better than us. World-class players, so much better. But we said at that game, if it was a better side, i.e. Man City, we would have been 3 or 4 goals down in the first half. Luckily, we weren't. Okay, we still lost it 1-0. But, you know, we just got to start well. We started well against Chelsea. There's a couple of bad mistakes and a bit of lax finishing, but we've already gone to that. I'm not going to criticise anyone in particular. If we kept everything our play at Chelsea, we outplayed them. And this is not a biased view. Even Chelsea fans still outplayed them. We start like we did against Chelsea. We go 1-0 up against Everton. Their fans will get restless. This is a cup final for them, and their wings. We get past Davis on the right hand side. If he plays on the right hand side, Kenny will be struggling. Kenny's a good player at right back, but Richarlison at him coming at him physically. The comparisons are there, so it's not like he's playing a big, strong, tough short cross at him. He can get past that guy. If he gets past, we get bypass him. We can bomb on 2 players on that left, and Kenny's going to have. He's going to have a torrid time. Both wings, even Bainesy. You run at Bainesy now. He's not the quickest player.
No, he's getting on a bit.
He's getting on a bit.
He's 1/30.
Exactly.
It's the start.
And Everton are a club to certainly be a little bit in turmoil. Yes, Unsworth, a club legend. He's jumped in from the under-23s. Has made it known he wants the job. But are they going to need someone with maybe a bit more nous at that level? They're in the drop zone to start with, which is why Koeman got booted.
Exactly. Exactly.
No, that's a good point.
So, you know, they're going to be restless fans, restless owner.
Yeah, I think I personally think they're going to be on.
You've got to take the game to them. Take it to them early on. hit them with an early goal, and the fans.
I was going to say the fans will just be on their backs if they go a goal down inside the first 20.
Scarf out, so yeah.
Half and half scarf, that will be banned.
Half and half shirt. Insult
it cuts from within us, but I mean the comparisons between them and Watford. Everton, I know you're Liverpool, but you know we had to put that
cheers, thanks to that.
That's after the half and half shirt.
I got away with that.
I was going to leave it until an insult comes through. It's like the Delboy thing. He's 35. But
I've been that for a long time.
The comparisons between the two clubs is they're both family-run club. They're both like a family club. You get that feel with Everton as well.
Family orientated.
They are both family orientated. There's a good relationship between both, and you saw it last season. And I know you went to the season before the first game of the season, and just it's always been a friendly atmosphere up there.
Oh yeah.
And like I say, my family's split right down the middle, and then everyone knows I've got a spot for Everton, even though I'm a Watford fan, and my family's split down the middle, 50-50. And it's going to be one of the games. It's like basically my El Clasico sort of thing.
But it's an iconic ground to go to. We went there last year with the ladies. We did a game, comment on that later, obviously. But
a couple of days later, wasn't it?
Yeah. I actually did on the Sunday going up to commentate on Watford Ladies against Everton. And it just, when you get into it, it's a sense of, only about 900 there. Ground that holds 40,000. It's an iconic stadium in football history.
Exactly.
And it is from a bygone era of when the grounds surrounded by houses. They were the fulcrum, they were the community, the point of the community, centre of the community. And a lot of clubs these days still maintain that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot of people do hold that dear, so that'll be good. Should be good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm no shame to say I used to stand in the Goodison, and they all knew I was Watford, and they always used to tell me the scores when I used to live up there. And they used to say, "Oh, well, like, Watford are winning, or Watford are losing, or drawing." When we stood up there, and the stewards are great banter as well. They'll go, "He's Watford, but he's standing in the top with the toffees and all that lot." And it was great banter. And it's like I say, we saw a couple of them when we went up on last season as well. And we go, "Right, what?" He said, "Right, one, what's happened to your hair? And two, why have you got that shirt on?" Questions on his answers on the postcard still, mate.
It's a jury still out on what happened there.
Yeah. We still don't know which lawnmower, but if I get my hands on it, I'll tell you.
Yeah,
we let Debo loose with his shears, didn't you?
No, we hit 2 balls over the free kick ball and it went like that. I still defend. Don't start.
No, because I won't defend as well, which is more what he can do in a free kick ball. That's a different story.
That's a different podcast.
So we will touch on that one at a later date, guys. Stay tuned for that one.
A complete podcast for that one on its own.
That will be added. If it goes well on Saturday, we'll win 2 or 3-0 or 2 or 3-1. If it goes badly, we're going to lose 2-0. But I'm going to go for Ruby Hart. I still think if a good start, still think we're going to see a different animal. We'll get a good start, and I put down 2-0. I'm going to stick with my 2-0 prediction for the Hornets.
Brilliant. Brilliant. You got a prediction for it, Chris, or you?
I'll go for a very tense, very close 2-1. So Watford. I think Everton will probably, they might draw first blood.
Yeah.
Or it could be a consolation goal. But yeah, I think Watford have got. I mean, Richarlison as well. I've been quite impressed with him, to be honest.
Yeah, I think
he's, what I have seen, I've not seen much of Watford, obviously, from my commitments. What I have seen, I've been quite impressed with, and I think Marco Silva's, he's galvanised them a bit more. There seems a bit more about them this season.
Exactly.
And I think that
we've got identity. That's what we've always gone on about on this show. It's always identity with this season. We know how we play now. Last season we got a style.
We've got a style. We've got a style. Not like it's set in stone, but you've got something that you're associated with.
Teams know how we play now, and they respect us how we play. Even under Flores, you knew how we played. Underwater, we just didn't have any direction. And a lot of things, we say a lot of things contributed to that. But to this season, there's identity. There's a freshness about us as well. And we're taking games home and away. It doesn't matter if we're playing the champions against Man City. We'll do the same. Yeah. We'll play our football.
Yeah, we will go.
We'll win more games than we lose.
Yeah,
pretty much, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'm going to stick my neck out tomorrow. I'm going to say 3-1. I'm going to go with 3-1 again. It was wrong last week. I do hold my hands up for that, but
we did get the 1 goal. There
was 1 goal, but not the other 3 that I wanted.
To take away 1 and add another 2 onto Stoke.
Exactly.
Yeah. Close, isn't it?
Close, but not close enough.
No cigar there.
No cigar there. Oh man. Right. Ladies talk. Ladies talk. Sorry, I'll get my words out in a minute, guys. It is Saturday night after all. I've normally had about 10 pints by now, but not tonight. Following on from last week's 1-1 draw, they went to
took on Reading women in the Continental Tires Cup, which is effectively the Women's Super League Cup.
Right,
the group stages. So they played. The game was played on Wednesday night at Wycombe Wanderers ground.
Yep.
Sadly, rather inevitable 4-0 victory for Reading, but I think the performance of it was still a good performance there from Watford, taking into it that Reading are a full-time outfit.
Yeah.
You know, they're training 5 times a week. They've signed Farrah Williams MBE.
Oh wow, that's
165 caps for England. I think I've got that right. And counting.
Yeah, she hasn't stopped playing yet.
You know, still 33 years of age, but still, you know, galvanising that team. They've got a whole stack of other international players. Irish international keeper and Grace Maloney, Irish defender. We've got Anna Green, the New Zealand international. We've got Dutch Mandy van den Berg defence. So not me, but their team just oozed international players at every level. You know, a lot of players, quite a few English players, past and present internationals. It's going to be a tough game, but there were positives there, which is what they're taking. It's just a shame now there's no game this weekend.
Yeah,
so this is a thing. I think it's just a thing that Keith Bonas, the head coach, has picked up on after the 1-0 win against Millwall in the last game in the Continental Tires Cup. It's like, great, we've got to win. Now we've got to wait 2 weeks before the next game, before we go back to the league. And there's like you get games, and then there's like big gaps in between. So it's like difficult to build up a momentum. But yeah, no game this weekend. Back in action next week. I don't know if you want to know about now or
go for it.
Back
to WSL 2 action next weekend. That's the 12th.
Yep.
They're away to Aston Villa Ladies. That's a 2 o'clock kickoff at Tamworth's ground. Because a lot of these games aren't necessarily being played at. Like Watford obviously play at Kings Langley's ground. Tottenham play at Chesson. Unless your name's Doncaster Rover Bells, in which case you play at the Keep Mo. So looking forward to that one on the 31st of March next year. Saturday kickoff at 5 o'clock.
Oh, lovely.
So so I won't be doing Kings Langley. So I sort of rotate my heads on that. But next week if you can get up there at the Tamworth, it's at their new ground, at their ground. So it's a 2 o'clock kickoff. But I mean, I think I've been quite impressed with what's gone on this season. I saw some of the games last season and commentated on some in my role with KLFC Radio, Kings Langley's football club radio. So we do the internet commentaries. And there's also been new players coming this season. Yeah, the marquee signing for me is Helen Ward.
Yeah,
Wardy, Welsh legend. You know, was it 39 goals in 70 odd appearances? Already been called back barely a month after giving birth to a second child. She's been called back.
That's the one.
Called back to the Welsh international squad and went with the team to Wales. To Russia, for Wales-Russia in the group stages of the qualifying for the next World Cup. And they came over the goalless draw. But even just having Wardy, I don't think Wardy played, but even having Wardy in your camp, you got the expertise, the experience, and I mean, I've chatted to some of the Watford players already. Nat Murray, who's stepped up a couple of levels to this Watford Ladies Team now, says to me on overnight, going, "It's good having Wardy in the camp because you can learn. I'm young, I can learn off her, and that's what I think you need." You look at the likes of her, obviously Kylie McCarthy and other players come back. Who's come back? Another Welsh international. Both former Reading players, by the way.
Oh, blimey.
But they did play. I mean, Helen Ward came on as a sub on Wednesday night, and Kylie McCarthy did the whole game. But they were both part of the team that got Reading up into the Premier, into WSL 1 originally. This two, a couple of years ago. So but having them there, you got specific experienced players coming in, as well as a very good, Keith Bonas is building up a very good side, a lot of promising players, some being plucked up from 1 or 2 steps below Watford WSL 2 level. So you're looking at the likes of FA Women's Premier League, and then from the Premier Division, and then from like the Regional 1 divisions. So players are being plucked up, as well as a handful of like experienced players in. And of course, there's the skipper Annika Nuttall, who's just an absolute legend in the park.
Well, I voted her player of the match last week because of towards the end her last ditch tackling was nailed on to precision point, and for me she didn't put a foot wrong the whole game.
She kept Sarah Wiltshire quiet.
Yeah,
I mean that was going to be the worry, is Sarah Wiltshire getting football Watford play another legend who's now gone to Tottenham. She is a Tottenham supporter, to be fair.
Oh well,
yeah.
So I think that sort of swung it. But obviously leaving Yeovil going there, and obviously Annika Nuttall playing as a makeshift, right back is not her accustomed position, but she did a job, and she kept Sarah Wiltshire very quiet. I mean, wherever Wiltshire went, Annika Nuttall was right on top of her. And that's the thing. I mean, I've got to be honest. I don't know how much women's football you've seen.
I've got to be honest. I've only ever watched like the England ladies, maybe 5, 6, 7 times. Yeah. But last week was my first ever Watford ladies game, and it ain't going to be my last. That's for certain.
Yeah,
I'm going to be.
It's the whole thing as well. It's the whole thing as well because you've got. What I was saying to you guys off air earlier. There's like Watford, like with all the women's teams now, they're trying to get in what they call nursery clubs, trying to get other clubs in. I know they've formed a link now with Goodison Ladies, who are, with the exception of Watford, probably the next biggest team women's football-wise in the area. They're set up and it's bringing in, so you're getting the kids involved, doing coaching sessions with them. But then on match days, you've got the youngsters are coming out as mascots. They're walking out with the players for both teams. You've got senior starlets are also involved. So you've got like the flag wavers as well. So it's like it's getting the kids in. It's like carrying on with what we're saying as well about the community effort. Watford, it's like the family ethos of Watford is continuing through the ladies setup, and it is very much it's a family experience. We want the mums and dads down, we want the kids down there. Yeah, I want to see you, especially when you've got daughters who want to play football or like football at any age. They can see like Annika Nuttall, Charlotte Kerr out there playing. Yeah. And it's like, well, they're role models for them, and the local Helen Ward. But let's not forget, started off at Watford.
Exactly.
Just come full circle.
Yeah.
So you got. So it's like also trying to keep like local players in, but it's just giving that impetus. And so if this is what you can achieve, hard work, you can do it. And it's
feel gives us a lot of feel.
Exactly.
Ray Cook has said, how far do you think, and you as well, Moobs, how far do you think the ladies team could go?
Well, I think we've obviously the main thing's going to be going forward is with the big shake-up. There's been 2 big shake-ups. This season has seen the start of the Women's Super League. It used to be predominantly a summer season. Yeah. And it would overlap, and so the WSL would finish around about October time, by which time the Women's Premier League has already started. So now this season it's been decided that's why they had the spring series was used as like a stopgap to bring the women's season in line. So at WSL, which is like the effective women's version of the Premiership, that's your top flight. FA Women's Premier League sits underneath it, and then you've got the regional levels, and then it all filters out further down the pyramid down to county standard. So all that now starts off more or less same season as everyone else. So that will carry on till late April, maybe May. I think looking at the fixtures, I think going through to like the latter part of May. So it then brings it all in line. So that will. So I think going forward, that's the first big change this season. Second season is what the FA second change is what the FA are looking at for next season. And there's bids. I think the bids close on this in about 10 days' time. Is that WSL 1 next season is going to be full time.
Yes, I did see something in the paper
about this.
Yeah.
There's been, because obviously there's some teams that may not necessarily have the financial support necessary to retain their WSL 1 level. So you've got teams like of Yeovil Town that have launched crowdfunding to try and raise £350,000 to be able to stay in it. Sunderland are a part-time outfit now with the changes that were made with the men's club and them as well. Overall, there's a lot of costs were saved. So I think Watford, I would like to, and I would hope that if General Manager Ed Henderson's watching this, I'm sure he would. I think going forward, I would like to think that there is definitely some ambition there to think, why can't Watford sit at the top table with the other likes? Yeah, there's been a lot of work behind the scenes this season. I've seen it with Watford Ladies, bringing in doing a lot of commercial work, getting in more sponsors, more partners, so you're getting a bit more support in there as well. It's good to see there's a big link with the men's setup as well. I've seen it in women's football before. You've got, oh, we might be so-and-so team. Yeah, but there's no link with the actual club. You've got the name. You might wear the colours, but that's all you are. You're not getting any real support.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more with this. I do get the feeling with Watford there is more interest. There's a lot of interest.
Yeah.
The fans are getting the fans involved as well. And I think obviously getting, like yourself, man, getting you in for the first game, and that's what they're trying to do, is get people in for the first game who may not. Women's football has come so far in the last 30 years. I mean, even in the last decade, it's come so far forwards. You know, it's, you know, with Watford girls as well, to say to them, you'll see challenges that will probably make your hair, well, I'd say curl, but what's left of it. But, the classic is a midfielder they got from last season, who signed last season. Danielle Pudderfoot. Puds, where's the number 4? Right, I would say right old bruiser in midfield, but she's a very combative midfielder. She will put herself about a bit, and if you get, and she will, it's very much let you have the challenge going, just to let you know I'm there. Yeah,
I saw plenty of that last week.
That's Puds. Yeah. That's Puds. That's what she does. She'll get stuck in, and there'll be people bouncing off her. Yeah. But what I mean is, it's competitive without it being dirty. No, if people, there's challenges in there that make you wince. There's some challenges that aren't great. But that happens in sport. But then what I like is you don't see players surrounding the ref. You don't see someone rolling halfway across the pitch after they've just been tapped. You know, it's like, okay, you've been dinked, you've been sent forward, spoiling the pitch. You get up, you start again. Yeah. And it sets a nice tone to show that's how the game can be played. I personally think, I think Watford's, with Keith Bonas as head coach. I mean, Keith is vastly experienced and respected in the women's game. Yep, I mean, from his times at Charlton Athletic to then running the Estonian national team for 8 years. Oh, good God! You know, he's not nicknamed the Italian Grizzly for nothing. but he's a really committed individual. I mean, he's respected in the game. You know, his name carries a lot of weight in the game. And I think Watford, in getting him last season, and let alone retaining him and having him on board again this season, that is a master coup. And with Keith, you are then going to get the likes of Colin McCarthy and Helen Ward. That was going to happen because he can't, you know, his name, he's been involved in the game for years. I mean, exactly. You know, that's the thing you've got. It's like having effectively, you know, like the women's game's equivalent to GT. I don't use that lightly. But, you know, it's someone who's vastly experienced, respected, knows the game, has been there. And, you know, that's what you want, you know, someone who can help on, so step it up. So, no reason why they can't.
That's not bad.
No reason why. I think there's no reason why they can't be there next season.
I was going to say, just from what I saw last week, you know, you can see there's a lot of potential there. And it's just, if he unlocks it all, it's just going to flourish.
Those players, with the exception of about 3 or 4 of them, they're like 19, 20, 21, 22. They are a very young team. They are. You know, Annika Nuttall, Vicky Neal in the mid-20s, Sherelle Albert, he's getting to the latter part of the 20s. Obviously, Wardy's just the other side of 30 now. And Colin McCarthy's, you know, mid to late 20s. The rest of them are all early 20s. And what I did see, because I think the only game I've missed this season was the Stevenage away game in the pre-season. So there has been a chance where he's been calling up. They've called up players from the development side, like Alana Monroe's got called up. Obviously, Molly Dench, who's only just turned 16, I think. So there is, and Leanne Bell, who's now got broken through into the first team squad from the development side. And these are players who are most of the development squad. Again, they're mainly 16, 17, 18. So it's very much, instead of just going out and saying, well, here's a checkbook or whatever, let's get loads of players who are like, you know, late 20s, 30s. It is very much, let's build up with youth, give youth a chance. And I've always maintained it. If you're good enough, you're old enough.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't it?
And I think that's football in general.
Yeah.
Football in general, really, whether it be, you know, regardless of gender. I think it's, you know.
No, I completely agree with that. If you're old enough, and all the way up from minor leagues football right up to Prem. Both men and women. You're old enough. You're good enough. You're old enough.
Or say classic 1958, a 17-year-old Brazilian lad.
I wonder who that was.
Yes, I wonder who that was.
There's the postcard.
Or even Morse code.
Yes, Morse code if you can. There's a question there, and it's come from your mum. how old do the children have to be?
That's
Is
good.
that,
Yeah.
I don't know. Is she referring to the ladies?
Yeah.
The ladies. Well, the ladies have actually got, for player-wise, they've actually just recently launched, and they're doing it this season. They've launched the Girls Academy. I said John McDermott is one of the best. Is probably one of the best guys to talk to because he's sort of
John McDermott. Yeah.
He's running Irishman, larger than life character. Very enthusiastic about the girls and women's football in general. But they have been running teams. I think it's under 9s all the way up to. I think it goes up from about under 7 and 8s all the way up to under 16. So there is scope. I mean, I think they're on Twitter as WFC Girls Academy.
Right.
So you can find their feed on Twitter.
Good.
There are links through watfordfc.com through to the ladies section as well.
Yeah.
So you can find them on there because I don't actually have John's immediate contact details to hand, but
Yeah.
I think you're looking. I think a lot of it now we're into the seasons is probably like contacting the club about trials, that sort of thing. But I mean, I think the club would still be open looking at. I think they're always looking for opportunities for other players to come on board. So it's probably a matter of it. I think there's no sort of lower. I mean, I think it's from about 7 or 8 onwards. I think.
Yeah, I mean, we know coaching them all girls years ago, and we knew, good and bad. It inspires young girls to get back and play.
Well, I've come back. I've come back from. I mean, I've just come out of coaching. I've just finished best part of nearly 10 years coaching women's football. I mean, I'm now coaching with Kings Langley with their boys set up with the under 7s, which was last season's under 6s. But I mean, I've come from obviously Hemel Town ladies, then had a stint 4 years with Kings Langley ladies, and then just come out doing just under 2 years for Edgware Town down in North London. And again, that was very much getting people back into the game. That was at the other end of the spectrum. So you got players who are like in the 30s, have maybe taken time out from the game to pursue a career, family.
Yeah.
Have a family, and there'll be players coming back going, I haven't played for about 3 or 4 years, but I want to get back in. And I think the women's game is as much as getting those players back in as it is to attracting those right at the start.
Yeah.
So it's an open end. It's at both ends of the spectrum, really. I mean, the way I see it, it's all about getting girls and women into playing football.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's different levels. Whether you're coming back into the game just want to have a kick around. Yeah. Or whether you're coming in right at the start going, right, I want to be the next Kelly Smith. I want to be a Rachel Yankee, or I want to be an Izzy Gushinson or Tony Duggan. See?
Tony
Duggan, some connection in there for, hand it to the pitch.
Well-known player, Tony
Hand
Duggan.
it to the pitch.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So I was going to say, there is one more question I wanted to ask about the ladies thing.
Yeah.
With the leagues, is there like in Watford's league, can they get relegated out of that one, or is they just stay in there?
I think traditionally they would have, and what was meant to have happened this season, from what I understand, was going to be WSL 2. I think probably the bottom team would have been replaced by whoever won the FA Women's Premier League playoff between the North and the South section, which is what Tottenham got in this season. Because they won the Southern section of the FA Women's Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
And they then played off with the Northern Section champions who were Blackburn Rovers and beat them 3-0 at Charlton Athletics Valley Ground.
Wow.
Rather convincingly. Yeah. Check out Wendy Martin's 30-yard lob over the keeper. That's all I'll say.
Oh.
But now with this business with the WSL going full-time, WSL 1 going full-time, or the intention of it being a full-time division, there's going to be ramifications and ripples. So I don't know for sure if there is going to be relegation into the FA Women's Premier League this season. Yeah. I think it's been put on. I wouldn't quote me on this, but I think it's been put on hold whilst they're probably waiting to see who's actually going to apply for WSL 1. Because there's from what I understand, I think Millwall Lionesses are potentially interested. I'd be surprised if they didn't go for it. There's been mutterings about West Ham United. Other clubs as well, further down the pyramid. So not just in the FA Women's Premier League Premier Division, but sides in like the Division 1 Midlands, Division 1 South East. So teams that are like maybe 2 steps below WSL 2, looking at going, let's get into WSL 1. They might have the financial package available. They may have the financial support because it's not cheap.
Yeah,
because it is. If you're going full time, those players are going to have to be. You know, you're effectively thinking, well, with Watford, a lot of the players, you know, they're training 3 times a week, but they're holding down jobs. You know, some might be serving in emergency services, or some might be teachers, or I know in fact quite a few of them are sports instructors. Yeah. You know, and it's like the question's got to be: do you want to give up your job, earning X, Y, Z, to go into a league where you might, you know, there's been a question, and it's not aimed at any, not a specific club, but you could be a player on a good wage, or a sizable wage. Would you risk that for the chance of maybe being transferred out of a club or go elsewhere within a year?
Exactly.
This is the thing that I think going full time, I think may help the national side, but you've got to think about what it's going to do, what ripples or effects it could have further down. There's been a lot of work put into getting girls into the game, getting women into the game. You don't want to lose that or risk losing all that on going, let's just focus on the national team only. Let's not forget about the grassroots, because without the grassroots, there isn't any national level.
Exactly.
Or international level.
Yeah.
So I think it's it's going to be interesting. I think at the moment there's no plan for relegation, because because again the window, I think the bids for those that want to go into WSL 1 for next season have got to be submitted by, I think, the 10th or 13th of November, latest month.
Right.
And the decisions then won't be announced. Who gets the licenses, I think, until middle of December. It was weird that it was announced 2 weeks after the start of the WSL season, so the timing may have been a bit better, personally speaking.
Yeah, they could have sorted that
without
out.
wanting to upset the FA and the powers that be. I think the decision that was announced right after the start of the season, when everyone's getting their heads around the fact that you've now got women's football is in the Winter League. So that's now that's also going to impact attendances, because it's now in direct competition with the men's calendar.
Yeah,
you didn't have that in the summer. In the WSL league, when it was played in the summer, you knew, got no football. Yeah, let's go and watch your women play. Let's watch women's football. But now it's going to be, what do I do? Do I go and watch this, or do I watch that? Or a lot of people, like diehards, will go and watch all games anyway. Yeah. But it's like you're just trying to bring, you know, they've worked so hard with getting third in the World Cup and the last World Cup, and obviously getting to the semi-finals in the Euros earlier this year. You don't want to lose all that hard work by then making you decide make you choose between watching games.
Yeah,
exactly. But no, it's you know,
definitely there, and a lot more, and hopefully it won't be long before they get their first league win either. So
fingers crossed.
Well, good luck to the ladies.
Well, Aston Villa, we're not wanting to put the mockers on this, as of end of last weekend, haven't won the game yet. Watford Ladies are up to 8th. With that point against Tottenham, they're now up to 8th.
Well done.
Aston Villa are bottom of the table. They've only scored 1 goal in 4 games. They conceded, I think it's 11 or 12.
Wow.
But admittedly, they had 6 put past them by Doncaster Rovers Bells last weekend, which will have a major thing to do about that. Who quite ironically now have announced that Katie Rosen is now their manager. Katie Rosen, who succeeded John Salomon as Watford Ladies manager, and was obviously there before. Obviously was there, and obviously she went elsewhere. Obviously that's before Keith came on board. So obviously, I think she takes charge of the first full game in charge of Doncaster Rovers Bells this weekend. Okay. So there's a bit more spice to when a bit more spice when those two face each other. But no, Aston Villa. I think the win. I'm not going to say death down, but I think it's the team are working in the right direction. It's taken time for the new faces to gel. Obviously, admittedly, Helen Ward is still not, maybe I wouldn't say 100% fit, but is showing glimpses already of what she can do. Right. And I think that's definitely something to inspire people. So I think it's very much, but they need your support. They need the support, getting people down there to watch games, get behind them, even Bangor John or two, even going down Bangor John, making some noise, cheering them on. I mean, I know some of the 1881 guys have been down to get involved. A few of them. I know
you spoke to.
I know the club have been involved in. There's been a lot of work. Kings Anglia Football Club as well. I've been chatting to Roy Moore, who's very, very much involved. Mr. 1881.
He is,
and what's getting out there. It's women's football, as I said, is not like what it was 30, 40 years ago, and people just used to poke fun at it. it is a serious level now. But it's serious. You know, but you saw it yourself. You saw the standard. The standard there is, I'd say, is very high, and the players are committed. And they're friendly, and they will post selfies with fans after the game and sign shirts. And you don't. It's not like can I have an autograph? No, go away. It's like and the players fall over themselves, because it's like they just want to, give them something back to the people who come to watch them.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant.
Brilliant. Right, we will keep an eye on Watford Ladies game next week against Aston Villa. We will have a mention on one of the podcasts next weekend. I don't know if
we can even have a commentary next week if you can't go.
Well, especially with you did it last Sunday. Fantastic piece about the game on Sunday, and you today, mate.
Exactly.
We've said we're going to expose more exposure for the ladies. You guys have.
Well, what I'm trying to do is give you guys a link. Maybe we've got like a web link so you can actually listen to. We would like with KLFC Radio, which is what I'm with Kings Langley Football Club. Hence all this. I've come from the game to I'm the odd one out. So just if you were wondering what on earth I was doing wearing all this. I was at Kings Langley today commentating on Basingstoke Town against Langley, and it's a 1-1 draw.
Our mate Dave Quick, who does fantastic the news, all the news stories for us here. He always posts up an update, and it always has your radio link up on our forum.
Excellent, good. If that's already on there, that's brilliant. Then.
That gives us an extra thing.
We will.
So obviously we'd love to see people come to the home games for Kings Langley as well as Watford Ladies. Still get people through, but obviously if there's ever a chance you can't get to games for whatever reason, like Debo's taking you shopping or something like that, but it's
like kick walls or something.
He's got to be doing that until the cows come, isn't he? It's not going to change.
It's not going to change.
I think Debo and training on free kick walls. I think that horse is well and truly bolted.
That's got a long time.
I won't even go there. But I mean, if you can't get to games, you can always listen to us live. We're normally on there 15 minutes before kick-off, so.
Brilliant.
But
brilliant, mate.
Right. I'm just going to say, just do a quick little non-league thing, because today, and I did say at the start of the podcast, I had some very, very interesting news in regards to Hemel Town Football Club, and a lot of you are going to be pretty shocked at this. This afternoon, they were in action in a cup game. It was a cup semi-final.
It's the Hertfordshire County Charity Cup semi-final.
That was the one. They were at home to Royston Town. They did go a goal down early on, but Hemel fought back. Ended up winning 4-1, which means they're now in the final. But the biggest shock of all today at Hemel Town was the signing, and yet again, is another former Hornet, Will Hoskins. The former striker has signed for Hemel Town Football Club, which now means there is Jordan Parks, Matty Spring, Lloyd Doyley, the legend, that is, the man, the myth, the legend, and now Mr. Will Hoskins. So you've now got 4 ex-Watford players playing for Hemel Town Football Club, and I can safely say all 4 are on the same on the pitch at the same time today.
That's why they won.
At one stage it didn't look like it. They went a goal down. Everyone just went, "Oh no, here we go again." But I know my friend Mr. Kevin Hickman is watching, and aren't you a Hemel fan, Kev? Next time I see you, you are in trouble, mate, because I will kill you.
Get behind
exactly.
Get at the back of the queue.
Yeah,
everyone's on Kevin.
Yeah,
I know Kevin. Yeah,
yes,
met him.
Mr. Super Kevin Hickman, #1 Hemel fan. He is, he was quite vocal today as well, especially when us Watford boys turned up. We were, welcomed with open arms.
The church mouse, Kevin.
Yeah, more. But yeah, that is the big news. The big news from Hemel Town today. Not only did they win 4-1, but Will Hoskins has signed. I don't know how long for. We'll try and find out how long he is signed for. Whether it's just for this season, whether it's a 2-year deal, something like that. But like I say, everyone was in a state of shock when we suddenly saw him walking out, going, "What on earth is going on here?"
I recognise that man.
Yeah, and then someone conveniently confirmed it. Also today, I think the scoreline stayed the same. Did Bourne Wood hang on in the cup?
2-1.
Yes, they did. A big well done to Bourne Wood. Knocked Blackpool out of the FA Cup in the first round.
They were losing. They were trailing goals to 0 as well.
Yeah, so that is a brilliant performance for them. So well done into the second round hat. I think that was the only 2 bits I had because I don't know who else was playing today.
Predictions in the FA Cup for you. Oxford City.
Yes, Oxford City.
Beat Colchester United.
Yep.
Oxford City were in Hemel Town's division.
Yep.
Maidstone United.
Oh yes, they won.
Players sent off.
Oh yeah, they won.
At Cheltenham.
Yep. AFC Fylde.
AFC Fylde beat Kidderminster Harriers.
Yes, 4-0.
Yep.
That was another big
a
shot.
Big one. It is non-league. It is non-league versus non-league. But Slough Town from Kings Langley's division went up to Gainsborough Trinity and won 6-0.
God,
wow!
Jesus, what a game that
is some game.
Yeah. And Matt Lynch, who apparently lives in Chipperfield, scored a hat-trick.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Well done. Well done to Slough. Well done to all the local non-league teams today who picked up some wins. So that is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, mate.
I'm going to hand the next bit over to you because I know you do it better than me. It's the plug section.
Plug section.
I would like to say it's not the ones you actually plug into the wall. No, it's actually something completely
totally
different
now. But you know, you guys just remember Paul Muzzy. The Muster is actually on at the moment.
Good evening, Muzzy.
Good evening, Muzzy. He's vlogging the Villa game for the ladies. He does vlogs. Check on Paul Muzzy. This is another mate. You need to check him out. He's brilliant.
I think I'm actually following him at the moment.
Paul Muzzy.
I think I've added him this week on my Twitter feed.
Go on Paul Muzzy on Facebook, on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Check him out. He's obviously checked him out already. Check all the vlogs. He does Watford. He does a host of other teams, but mainly Watford, first team and ladies. Check him out on YouTube and on Facebook. Remember, the WD18 boys will be at Everton along with my good self. They do the previews, they do FIFA ratings, they do post-match interviews with fans. Much better than Arsenal Fan TV, by the way. At least it's not a comedy section. They're actually proper fans, and it's not just parodies. But check them out, WD18 on Twitter and Facebook. All the videos on Facebook. Just search them up, WD18. Subscribe, like, and subscribe with them. Hornet Heaven, I've got it here. Hornet Heaven. Episode 3 of season 5 is now on www.hornetheaven.com. Check it out. Yesterday they released it onto the general public. Hornet Heaven. I know the guys from Hornet Heaven always look at this podcast, and they always give us a good shout out as well. So, and remember, Mr. G's Retro Rewind, not tomorrow because he's at Everton as well.
Yep.
Next week. Probably somewhere through the week, but also definitely on Sundays before. What perfect week before the podcast?
Exactly. What way to warm up for the podcast is to listen to Mr. G's Retro Rewind.
Chat. A lot of 80s stuff in there as well.
A lot of 80s, 90s.
Gives you a lot of shout out. Gives us a good shout out. So we always do that. So guys, check all that out. And go to Richard Lee's gkicon.com for a free tester session for your kids. Just go on gkicon.com. Scroll down. He's still got the free goalkeeping session for your kids, and it's just quite easy. Name, email, register, bang, done.
Fantastic.
Pretty much.
Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. In that one,
right.
In a nutshell, right. As we all know, the international squads have been announced for the upcoming fixtures. I'm a little bit disappointed in the England one because I think Tom Cleverley warrants an England call. And I don't understand why I didn't get it.
No. I mean, there was a strong hint that obviously the likes of Harry Winks will probably have a look in, but I think Cleverley, Winksy will probably get a look in. But as in terms of Watford, in terms of us, Cleverley, for his unsung work rate this season, he's been basically our gritty, dirty guy in terms of he gets all the dirty work done for likes of Decore, who doesn't lose the ball, doesn't give the ball away.
Doesn't give the ball away, apart from a little bit last week, but
1, 2, 3, 4 and all that lot.
Exactly.
But he does that. He does the donkey work for Decore and at the time Chalobah to run on and create a bit more and not just be holding midfielders. And he pops up with the odd goal as well. And a lot of people laughed at him when he came to us and even at Everton because, it was up and down at United, but he's found his club. He's found his position. He's found his club. He was at home. He said when he signed for us last season, he feels more at home with us because we don't lambast players straight away. We don't pile too much pressure on them straight away, and we let them try. And, well, like with Charleston as well, he said that as well, and in his clear Brazilian, that he gets allowed, like Cleverley, gets allowed time. We're patient. We let them come in, and as long as we see, most clubs, as long as we see them trying and trying to get better, trying to help the team, we'll always back them, and that's what Cleverly said. And in a nutshell, yes, he should be in the squad, and I'm pretty disappointed. If you base it on form, he's one of those best unsung players in the Premier League at the moment, because he never gets bigged up, and he should be in the England squad.
I'm about probably for a controversial comment in here, and I apologise if we set everything in meltdown. Is it because certain stuff, sort of oldish people at the FA think it's Watford?
We said that.
Is it possibly the unfashionable tag? It's not a Chelsea, it's not an Arsenal, it's not a Man City.
There is a lot.
That could be something like that.
We don't want to say we're the victim sort of speech, but there's a lot of truth in it, and you've raised a point that everyone pretty much from this forum and all the other forums enjoy the game, Cursing Hornet, and all the other guys have said. It's because we're Watford.
It's not really funny. Ruben Loftus-Cheek gets into the England squad.
Yeah.
On form, he shouldn't deserve it. In terms of Cleverly,
I mean, it should be. To me, international should be based on form. Yes, at some stage you're going to want to have a look at new players or look at players from like the under-21s. What can they do in a senior level? Because there is a step up. But it's I was just thinking. Is it because he's been overlooked? Because of that, is there a potential stigma there?
Well, in terms of form, he deserves it, doesn't he?
He's been bang on form. He's been red hot since
you've got to pick international. You've got to pick form players.
I do like the likes of the Dennis Irwins and the Cleverleys, the players that are unsung and do a job and always get at minimum 8s out of 10s.
Dennis Irwin, boy, taking me back.
He's really started that unsung hero thing in the Premier League, where you knew he was always going to get 8 or 9s out of 10s. Even Fergie said that. He always got 8s or 9s, but no one really gave him that because no one noticed his hard work. And Cleverly's very much that sort of ethos about him. He does the dirty work.
He's not a prolific goal scorer, is he? That's the thing. But obviously, prolific goal scorers do need the feed. Someone's got to get the ball to them. Someone's got to win that ball in the park.
Someone's
break down, or indeed break up the other challenges, the other attack coming in to turn the ball over to get it back up to the forwards.
I think there's more chance of Cleverly getting in the England squad than Decore getting in the French squad.
Yeah, I think the France squad now has so much strength.
I just think he's got no chance really at the moment.
It would have to take a massive injury crisis within the centre midfielders of France for Decore to go flying up the pecking order. But I think, Decore, if he carries on the way he does, it'd be yet again, you can't keep ignoring this lad. We all said it about Capoue when he first joined us in his first season. He played out of his skin.
He did, No,
and we said why, they were possibly going to recall him, but they never done it.
No.
So, but we will see. We'll see with that. I think, I was going to say, if Shalabar gets, we're pretty hopeful Shalabar's back in late December, early January.
Yeah.
Do we reckon he'll go to the World Cup?
I said both would. I said both will. If they carry on the way, if Shalabar comes back, and this is fingers crossed, he comes back and carries on how he started, and Cleverly carries on. I know there's a whole season, there's a marathon, a sprint, but I believe both of them will get in the England squad. And I called that a few weeks ago, and I said they will both get in the England squad on how they've played thus far.
As long as the judgment is on form, how they gone, not on who you play for or what you've done 10 years ago.
Exactly.
Not naming any names.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah,
well,
it's got to be based on what you're doing currently, not what you had done years ago at another club.
They could do a job. I mean, our midfield. I'm sorry, and people slated for this. I do rate Henderson, but he has not been the player. And Noble was awesome a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah, didn't get the recognition.
Really, didn't get the recognition, and he should have been in the England squad based on his form that season before they left the bowling. Henderson was another one, but none of them really hit the heights. And our midfield really, apart from the likes of Ali, and to be honest, Sterling this season has been tremendous.
Sterling's come alive.
You could put an extra couple of people in there, and Cleverly could do you a job in a free. Probably just behind. I know he won't, because they won't put Rooney, but they'll put Ali behind the striker. He could do you a job. He could be. He's an option. And Shalabar, Southgate fancies that guy proper, and he knows if he's fit, Chalobah can do a decent job as a holding centre midfielder that can advance.
Yeah, I think we know when. I think it's pretty clear when Chalobah gets back and he starts racking the games up, because after
he plays well, he's in.
Yeah, I think after this one, after this round of international breaks, we then don't stop again for internationals till March. So that, you know, if providing pray Chalobah doesn't get a setback, if he got back, built up his game time and fitness, I think, you know, we'd probably see him in the next round of squads before they decide who goes.
It'd be nice if he doesn't go in there until at least March, because, like you said, until March, there's quite a good thing for us, because if he comes back around the end of December, he's got 2 or 3 months to bed in, and then the injuries, he doesn't recurrence of his injury. Because if it was around February time, it would be too early. And we're like, please don't pick him, because we don't want him to pick up another injury. Like say, similar to the Pereira thing, where he's come back in the team and he's picked up another injury, be it a different injury to the original one he had.
Yeah.
We don't want that scenario on an international level, like Prodal's had.
Yeah.
Prodal's just done himself, and we haven't seen him since.
Yeah, I think the thing with Pereira, though, you know, yes, it's a different injury, but I think it's just the fact that because he's been out for so long, he's getting his legs going again.
Yeah.
And I think the legs are just saying, hang on a minute, you know, we're going to have another problem here. But, you know, like as Silva said in his press conference, or pre-match press conference, I was going to say, this is a little bit of injury update news as well. Cabal and Prodal this week returned to training with the whole entire squad.
They posted a video of Cabal scoring a goal.
He scored a goal. Oh my God, he has scored.
Welcome back, Jonas. Yeah, he pulled one right in the bottom corner. A classic Jonas. When he actually we scored against Arsenal last season.
The world has gone mad. So yeah, the talk from Silva is that hopefully, if those boys they will carry on training this week. They've got the whole entire international break, where they are going to get bed back in even more to the first team, and hopefully, he really hopes he's got one, if not both of them, available for West Ham on the Sunday we come back. And he was also very hopeful that Pereira's going to start running next week as well, I think. So he's very hopeful Pereira's coming back for West Ham. So it's looking promising on the injury front, except for Cathcart and the other guys who are long term. I know Chalobah falls into that one at the minute.
Yeah.
And I think there was one other player as well that's out long term. For the life of me, I can't think who it is. But he said the three of them, there is no return date. You know,
certainly Cathcart, because that's once again another defensive option. I still wouldn't take out of those three, I still wouldn't take Cabaselli out. He's been our best defender consistently for the whole season. Cabaselli's been quality.
I think if we find that both of them are declared, I think if we find that Cabal and Prodal are declared fit for West Ham, I think one of them will start and one of them's going to have to go and sit on the bench.
Oh yeah, definitely. Prodal all day in that.
Yeah,
Prodal's our best defender. Cabaselli's the second best, and then it's Cabal, Britos, Cabal. You could argue, possibly Britos could be.
He could get the nod.
You get the nod as the third player. Then Maps, then Cabal.
Yeah,
because Maps has been brilliant when he's come in. He's really been made food for thought now.
Yeah,
and we've got Wilder on the bench as well, haven't we?
Exactly. There's more options than we can
get
take a
fit.
stick
We've got
at.
like 6 centre backs, almost 6.
Just touching on what you just said about Cabaselli, back in the Belgium squad for the next round of internationals. That's not actually a late call up. That's actually one that's been announced for Martinez for the starter, because I know last international break he was training with Watford one day and then suddenly your country needs you. I'm off. It needs you. Yes, that's right. So yes, Cabaselli is in. Hopefully he gets some game time, but hopefully, like Watford Woody has said tonight, please guys, if you're going on national duty, don't come back injured. We do not want an injury crisis.
No, we don't want a Prodal situation.
No, we don't. No. And I think Marco Silva might be able to moan at you as well if you do come back injured.
I think Everton are still pining. I know back on Everton. Sorry, mate, to jump in.
Your excuse.
Yeah, well, they're still pining for Marco Silva if we get him. I said you won't, because you'll probably get Allardyce or Dyche.
Exactly.
They're still pining for him. I said you're not having him. He's already turned around and said, "I don't. Why would I go?" At this point in time, why would I go to a relegation-threatened team when my team sits comfortably in the top 10?
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. Alan Pardew's still free.
Yeah, Alan Pardew's available. Everton, if you are watching this, Alan Pardew said he would be very much interested.
With that, when they
it's either that or Chris Coleman. If things don't settle out with the Welsh job.
I'm sorry, Coleman. I don't rate him as a club manager. International manager, fantastic with Wales.
Exactly.
Allardyce for short term. Dyche could be a long-term option for things. Because look at what Burnley are doing at the moment.
Exactly. He's not going to want to leave Burnley.
No.
I'll
just throw another one at him. Will he get given the time? Look at Koeman. Everyone's cooing about him, no pun intended, going, "Oh, he's going to be wonderful." He's hardly had that long, but barely a year in the job. And he's got booted. Yeah. So much for signing a 3 or 4 year deal.
Exactly.
So there's the managers though. You could be the best thing inside. But Eddie Howe's a classic at Bournemouth.
Yeah, and it's
went to Burnley. Didn't last long, or went sour. Thankfully, he was able to get back. He'd left on good terms. Come back to Bournemouth and look what he's done. But that's what I'm saying is managers now in this game are not getting the time that you used to get, maybe a year and a half, couple of years to bed things in, get out the deadwood, get your own do things your way. Now, if you haven't done it in 4 or 5 games, you've got an axe hanging over you. Yeah, so exactly. Is it necessarily going to happen?
No.
And the other one here is Carrillo is going to go off with Peru, but is he actually going to be able to play because his wife is due to give birth to their twins? Peru, if you got like a private jet, can you just get it on standby for him to get back? So
I remember Peter Kennedy when he's first game against Wimbledon when we were under Taylor in the Premier League. Yeah. His wife was going to be induced a few hours after the game. He scored the penalty, and it's probably next door, but I don't think it was in there. It would have been perfect because he said, "Right, let me have a shower and I'll be over in a minute." So ladies, apparently, I think I'll probably give you this on the notes. They're at joe.co.uk.
Yeah. Yes. No, they're not on the notes, but yeah,
I've got it here, mate. I think apparently on
now Wednesday, you tell me. I didn't even realise that. I thought it was just a bit blank bits of paper.
That's a shopping list.
It's a shopping list. Communication levels in here tonight have been next to nothing.
Get Dino some free.
When it says notes, it's got an S at the end of it, mate.
I can't even see where it says notes unless I'm blind. I'm blind.
It says notes on the thing, mate.
Oh, it says notes on the thing.
It says notes.
It's just notes. But yeah, no, I think that would be interesting because could see Carrillo possibly getting a bit of leeway and saying, well, because I think they've got New Zealand? Is it in the playoffs?
New Zealand in the playoffs.
This is the half a place at Oceania you get the
World Cup. Sort of makes me wonder if Peru get the job done in the first leg, they might just say, you know what?
Off you go.
Off you go. We'll do without you for the second leg. So we will watch. We keep a close eye on that one. See what happens with him. I'm just gonna.
I remember the legends thing. We've got to get this centre midfielder out.
Yes, boys and girls, it is that time. We are going to move on to it. We're looking for the second centre midfielder. Right. Okay. So we're going to go around here quickly, and we're going to throw names out. Throw your names in who you want to see in, and it's the person who gets the most votes win. If we get any tie or we get too many names we can't decide, do we throw it open on the vote?
We'll throw it on the vote. We'll throw it open on a poll. We'll put it on a poll.
If we can't get enough, if we can't get a clear winner tonight, it will go up on a poll until the next podcast.
Yeah.
When the winner will be announced. So I am going to choose, and I chose him the other night, so I'm going to stick with him. Alan Nielsen.
Les Taylor. It was between Ray Train and Les Taylor, and I'm going to go Les Taylor. Yeah.
Right. Trying to remember from my most recent experience of watching Watford was stewarding with a certain person here a few years ago. I remember watching Micah Hyde having quite a good.
Heidi's got in.
See, this is what I like. Nothing like being up with a state of play. Going back.
Someone else just put Les Taylor as well.
I've
purely done it because the FA Cup final appearance. Rostron's left back.
Oh, God, see. This is like, oh dear. This is what happens.
Rostron was close. I put Rostron or who else did I put? Because we had Robbo as left back, didn't we?
Yeah.
Midfield, you can have paintings, players like that.
Oh yeah, how can I forget flipping Freddie West himself?
Freddie West himself.
The legend. You won't thank me for saying that. So sorry about it. He'll come after. He'll put me under his patio. Oh. Yeah, he'll put me under his patio. But no, I think Derek Payne. I think that's. How can I forget him? Diminutive.
I've just seen what you've just seen it all, mate.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen one from Ray, and I've seen one from Alan. Have you seen the one from Alan? Mr. John Joe O'Toole has been suggested. That's a blast in the past.
My mate actually went to school with
field.
This nurse I've actually worked with actually went to school with John Joe O'Toole as well.
Blimey.
He said, "Oh, do you remember John Joe O'Toole?" Yes, I remember him.
Yes, we all remember him.
Has he moved on yet?
Is he still playing?
He is still
last
playing.
season he was playing at Northampton, scoring goals in. But I don't know if he's still there.
I'm not sure. I'm going to find out.
They've had to change manager, so obviously Jimmy Floyd's in there now.
I can't remember if he's still. I think he is there. I think he is still there. I'm sure he's had 1 or 2 goals already this season. Les Taylor's been suggested by Ray. I've got a feeling this is going to go to a poll.
Yeah, I think
we are going to have to put this to a poll because we've got 5 different players already.
Yeah, we'll make sure you do it or I'll do it.
Oh, Surin's coming. He's decided. Les Taylor has taken the lead. Les Taylor has just taken the lead. So keep them coming in, guys, because, you know, like I say, we've said it once. If we can't get a clear winner tonight, we'll put it on a poll. But Les Taylor just took the lead, courtesy of Sir Surin, the man who sits where he wants.
No, he does sit where he wants.
He does sit where he wants as well. He's very good. He just tells the stewards and tells them to lump it. So, am I right in thinking this is the under-23s?
Yeah, under-23s.
Oh yes, they did play the other day, didn't they? Yes, the under-23s. They've had another game. What was it? Premier? Was this Premier Cup? Was it? I thought it was a league game.
I think it's the Premier Cup. I got told it was the Premier Cup.
Oh, Premier Cup. It's been told the Premier Cup is the Premier Cup. They played Blackburn, weren't it? I'm absolutely shocking it tonight.
I think it is Blackburn.
Yeah. I was just looking at it. Oh, blimey. Yeah, it wasn't a particularly good day for Watford's under-23s, suffering a 6-1 defeat at the hands of Blackburn. Watford's goal was scored by the young man, Mr. Michael Fivoli, who has banged in another one. That's about 5 or 6 he's got in the under-23s already this year.
I'll put in a shout about Dion Pereira getting promoted up to the first team bench. Felipe's got a little way to go, but I'd love to see Dion Pereira be pushed up there because he's just quality.
Indeed. I think it's.
I like to see, nice to see Kubiak on the bench.
Yeah,
Kubiak made the bench. He's another one that's not quite there yet.
Exactly.
He's had loan spells, hasn't he? But
all 3 of those featured in the friendly this season at Kings Langley when Hayden Mullins brought his under-23 side down.
Yeah.
And your Kubiak started. Felipe I was quite impressed with.
Yeah.
Federico as well. And Pereira all featured. And Gutside in goal as well. So some talent there. So, and of course, going back to the County Cup, with Kings Langley beating Hemel Hempstead Town, they have drawn Watford in the second round.
Oh, the Hart Senior Cup.
Hart Senior Cup.
Right.
Apparently, allegedly, we think it's the 5th of December. We're waiting for that to be confirmed.
Yeah, right.
It will be at Kings Langley's ground.
Right.
So I don't know what sort of Watford side that will be. So it could be
some of the kids.
It could be some of the kids. It could be under 23s.
It'd still be good.
I don't know. I think it'll be a good test. I think it'll be should be a decent Watford contingent down there as well.
I was going to say, I'll tell you what, I reckon you could see 1 or 2 of the first teamers getting some game time with that, just to build their fitness.
I think there'll be a few people you get sniff of that.
Oh yeah.
But yes, guys. So, like Chris has just said, once we get the confirmation of the date, we'll post it up.
Yeah.
Because December the 5th, that's a pretty that's not too bad actually. December the 5th, and it is at Kings Langley's ground. It's not Watford aren't the home team, Watford the away team. So it's Kings Langley's ground. Kings Langley versus Watford. Hart Senior Cup second round. We think will be December the 5th, but we will get confirmation.
Yeah.
So everyone get down there.
Yeah.
Oh, remember what I said the other week about parking? Remember that?
Yeah.
Parking.
Oh, please, you post that up as well, mate.
Yeah, parking is a bit of an issue, so
yeah. Don't park on the grass.
No.
Oh, I did.
Otherwise you'll get Joel come and talk to you.
Oh, I look forward to him coming talking to me then.
Yeah, no, don't stop me on that one. Don't stop me on those questions. Yeah, I did the over the way. Don't do that again.
Oh, brilliant. Right, at the moment, I've just quickly gone back to the Legends 11.
Les Taylor's winning.
Les Taylor has just pulled away.
Stormed it, is he?
It's now 4. I can see 4 votes for Les Taylor. Watford Steve has joined. Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Lovely to have you on. So Surin is watching. I swear that's come up about 3 times. What have you been? How many phones are you using tonight, Surin?
He's got about 40 lines.
I was going to say, I think he's on about his 10th phone already tonight. So
all 6 of the 7 viewers are Surin, I think.
Yeah. So he's been hitting
Surin TV, multiple views.
Multiple views, brilliant. We like it.
We've got one of Walker's like that.
Yeah.
Close up, extreme close up.
No.
The Heaven Knockley when they come out.
Yeah.
There's a sat guy comes on in a minute with his advert. guys, get on this. Is in, by the way.
Surin's in the car.
4 o'clock in the bar at Everton. I'll see you guys there. I'm going to be over there.
Surin is in the car.
In the car. Please tell me he's not driving.
Yeah, actually, Surin, if you are driving, can you please pull over? We don't want you getting arrested, mate.
Yeah. Arrested while watching the podcast.
Yeah, be Arrested Development.
He's got an excuse anyway.
Yeah, a bit like Arrested Development.
7 phones.
Yeah. How many points?
Sir Surin, he sits where he wants.
Yeah. That's just completely thrown my train of thought out. Live TV for you, or live podcast for you. This is what happens. Yeah, so we touched on, yes, just going to go back to the girls thing about the being on the Watford Ladies are going to be on joe.co.uk this Wednesday, the 8th. I think I did actually read a little bit about this in the paper.
Yeah.
It's is it a skills thing they're doing?
Techers Techers with Rocket.
Yeah. So it's keeping a very close eye out for that. It's definitely worth tuning in. Like I say, go to joe.co.uk. I think it comes up in the corner about the live thing. I think I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is. Oh yeah, and it's actually going to be live on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. On their Instagram stuff. So if you follow them on Facebook, keep an eye out for it. If you follow them on Twitter, watch for the link flash up on Twitter on their page, and Instagram, watch for it to flash up on Instagram as well. And I don't think they've got YouTube yet.
No, I don't think it is.
I think so.
No. Thank God, Surin is all right. He's in the taxi. He's in a taxi watching us.
Even there, he sits where he wants.
Exactly. Is he sitting in the front or is he sitting in the back passenger seat? Exactly. Even Alan's just confirmed that when he's in a taxi, he still sits where he wants.
It's official.
It's official. It is official. So, yeah. Oh, here we go. Sir Dave, he's mentioned your favourite player of all time.
What's it? Craig Ramage.
How much you paid him?
An hour and 7 minutes.
An hour and 7 minutes. We finally have.
The best one was when you said we were mentioning about Kevin Minnows that also played with Ramage.
Yes,
that's the best comment one. But quick. Dave was quick on the uptake there, shall we?
Yes, he was.
And
living up to his reputation.
Yes, with Ramage, great. But someone said the all favourite player. Where was it again? It was the Hornets' Nest to enjoy the gap. It was probably Hornets' Nest. And they were saying, and some guy actually put. It was actually Colin Beasley first put on, because I know he's a loyal follower here. Going, how long before Pidge actually mentions Ramage? And then someone else put Ramage on. They said, "Oh, good boy. We've got two mad nutters who remember 94, 95, and yeah." So we had to put a picture in there as well when he celebrated against Portsmouth as well. So there you go. One of the great man's many goals.
Yeah.
The best one was against Port Vale, but there you go.
Exactly. Well, even though Mr. Ramage has appeared on the vote, I can confirm that Les Taylor is still winning with 4 votes. So if you want to see Ramage in, 4 of you need to jump in now. Otherwise, we're going to declare Les Taylor the winner, I think.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think Sir Les is the winner pretty much. But
yeah,
you know,
Sir Les. So, under.
I'll probably put a little plug for the under-18s in there.
I was going to say, yeah, I'll let you do that one because I'm not sure about what's happened with the under-18s.
Yeah, because my writing is shocking.
Yes, wasn't going to say that.
Yeah,
but it's just it.
They lost at Charlton 2-1 on last Saturday. Dylan Cassidy got the Hornets goal, so unlucky for them. Sarmino, I think how they do it, came off the bench to score the winner for Charlton against our under-18. So, as far as all reports, that's the only little passage I've got about them. But all reports, it was quite a close game anyway, and they needed a change in. And it was like it says on the tin, it was a change of sub to get their win. Apparently, the young Hornets played well there, so it's another bright spark also in a defeat, but. You know, it's another up and coming.
Positive, isn't it?
It is positive, and you know, we've got kids coming through here.
Exactly.
You know,
there's plenty of them.
Yeah.
Alan has decided he is going to vote for Craig Ramage. The surge is coming, but I think the surge is just too little, too late.
Yeah, I mean, if we're guaranteed Ramage votes, we'll put us down for an extra half hour. But no,
exactly, I don't think we're going to get it. So
I think 2.5 hours and still not get more Ramage.
No,
so I think
I think so. Keep the vote open for all season. We'll probably get one more Ramage vote, and it'll probably be my dad begging me dad to do it. But he probably said. Probably a Ray Trainer or Les Taylor. We can't officially put the vote on because he's already up anyway. But he would probably think someone like that would possibly get it. But he's another one who looks around the mid-90s and said actually because both of us will probably argue with that. But this is also the same father and son who I think Coton's better. Coton's spell at Watford was better than was it Pat Jennings's one? But you know. Pat Jennings became great after. He was still a good keeper, but he became great after. But then we threw Mike Walker into the situation there, and he went, "Oh God, you rascal!" We eventually agreed when I bullied him that Cohen was the better player. But there you go.
Fantastic. Right, I think that is pretty much it for us, isn't it?
That's pretty much it. We've already guaranteed Les Taylor. We looked at Everton. Guys, just safe journey tomorrow.
Yes,
I'll see you there. But, you know, can we just confirm it does take longer than about 4 hours to get up the Merseyside. It took us about 5.5, 6 hours with a 40-minute stop, guys. So you know,
I noticed today on another Watford page, somebody has tweeted out today alerting everyone about the M6 that there is horrible roadworks going on and it's causing up to an hour's worth of delays. So if you are going up tomorrow, leave plenty of time to get up there because if you get caught, I do remember that on the opening day of the season, most of us missed the first 25 minutes. Myself and a few others were lucky enough to get in time to see Leighton score the first goal.
We got there an hour before last time. Last season, we got there an hour before, and they said the 15-minute warning. It's pictured me and Dino walking towards the thing. We said, "Hang on a minute, that was about an hour before because we got in there as Gomez had started warming up." So we knew that wasn't a 15-minute warning. We didn't mind going to Watford. So I said, "Oh God, here we go." People are going, "Oh, why is he on there?" Because what our mate Duncan, who was coming a couple of weeks ago, said, "I saw you on the Watford website." I said, "What are you on about?" And he said, "Well, you're the only idiot who's got brave enough to have Pigeon 29 with a mohawk." I went, that might have been me.
Unless you got a twin that we don't know about.
Someone else sniffing something who has the
could be an alias. Could be an alias.
Sniff, but I sniff the fear in the Everton ranks when we turn up. That's all. That's the stench of fear tomorrow.
Right, Alan's just posted something, guys. So if you are going to note this one down, use the M1. Take the A50 through Stoke and then join the M6. So I don't know if that's a little rat run round where all the roadworks are, but it might be worth, if you put it in your sat navs or something, put it in because it might flash up and tell you to head that way as well. Might add a little bit of time, it might take a bit off, but just have your backup options in case something does happen. We do want everyone to get to the game on time. Not like what I did and had to miss the first 20 odd minutes after sprinting down Stanley Park. Never again.
No.
Never again.
Tickets for that.
It was entertaining.
Yeah,
that was entertaining.
Yeah.
And even to make matters worse, I had a coach driver from Wales turn around and say, What's happened? What's taking you lot so long to get here? Do you not read have you not seen what's been going on?
Someone that took a wrong turning by Milton Keynes last when we ended up getting back here at 4:30 in the morning because he took almost an hour detour. But you know, that's it.
God.
Guys, just once again, I'd like to say thank you, Mr. Walker.
No, thank you.
Mr. Walker. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Guys, just remember we are back on Thursday. It will be the review of Sunday's game against Everton. So remember, get your questions in for that. We will be dedicating most of the show to that, good and bad. Hopefully, it'll be all good. It's funny enough when it's bad, we have the show is more weight on it. But I'd rather have 20 minutes and it'd be a good win than an hour and us being defeated. So really, good or bad or the ugly, we will be reviewing the Everton game. So. Guys, and also we will confirm if Surin's watching it in a taxi and which seat he was sitting in as well.
Yeah, and I think he's just about to go and speak to the police and ask for an escort from the M6.
Think he wants an escort.
Yeah,
from the M6, so I think there's a stop off there. So
I think we're going off on the tangent.
We'll confirm as well if Surin did get an escort or even one in police uniform from the M6 after Everton. So guys. Before Moobsy does his bit, thank you ever so much, everyone. Over 600 people on our forum now, and we're always growing. Invite your mates. I mean, he's going to say all this anyway, but just spread the word, guys. Thank you ever so much. I will see you tomorrow. I'll probably be with Dino. Not really propping the bar because the beer is awful at Everton last season, but well, it wasn't too bad when Walter gave us a free pint. But I think he needs to give us 40 shots after the season that we had. But I'll see you there. Get there on time, 4 o'clock. I'll be buying an alcoholic beverage of some kind. It'll be hopefully drinkable, but I'll see you there. Safe journey tomorrow, guys. Honestly, safe journey, and avoid the M6 at all costs.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we'll try and avoid it if you can, or allow some extra time.
Yeah.
So comes to that time again, guys, when I have to say my little bit.
That's it, right?
It just put me off completely. It is. Right, as Pidge just said, we've got now over 600 members, which is fantastic. But we still want more of you to come and join. So remember, guys, to tell your friends, to tell your family, to tell the delivery man, to tell the postman, to tell the milkman, to tell, even if you have to bring someone up and make a complaint, tell them about it as well. You never know, there might be Watford fans. There might be Watford fans in the office that you're ringing. So tell them to come over. TMA, they will get accepted. It will, tell them to join the podcast. Tell them about everything that we do. And like I say, I love doing it. I say it every week. I really do love doing it. It's amazing. It's brilliant. And you guys help make it what it is as well. Comments all the time, positive ones, negative ones. That's normally about the game, not about us. Exactly. We'll excuse the Kings Langley colours just for this once. It is it's a stern talking to. But yeah, like Pidge said, like I've already said, I'll say it again. Have a safe trip up to Everton tomorrow, guys. Enjoy the game, cheer the boys on, lose your voices as much as you can, and if you drink plenty of beer as well, you'll be asking for toilet stops as well. But you didn't hear that one from me.
And tell some free kick rules by Dino if you're on the same coach.
Exactly, yes. There'll be some free kick stories on that coach if you're on it tomorrow as well. But yeah, have a safe journey up. I'll be back next week. He'll be back next week. Dino will be here at some point. We don't know when.
We'll confirm that on the phone.
We'll confirm that. So yeah, enjoy the rest of the evening, guys, and we'll see you soon. Take care, man. It's goodbye from him.
And it's goodbye from him and him.
Cheers, thanks very much.
Good night, guys. See you soon. Yeah.
Right. Go to done in a minute when it comes up.